Hello everyone, thank you very much for joining me. If you find this content to be useful, leaving a like on the video will go a really long way for me, and that is probably the measure that I use the most to gauge the success of a video or not. So appreciate you guys for taking the time to do that. So I've got a cool message for you today, and you should know that our cosmic family is really expecting the old souls and the empaths specifically to hit their stride. And I see a lot of time in session, people will come to me looking to explain their sensitivity, and people will come to me looking to get rid of that sensitivity. And my answer to that is always, why would you want to get rid of your superpower? Why would you want to dull down your intuitive senses that are meant to act as a guide to help you direct your light and your energy where it's needed? So that sensitivity of yours, and almost certainly you've taken a lot of flack in your lifetime for having that sensitivity. It's going to be heightened going forward. And this is so that the healers, the light bringers, the way showers know where to direct their intention and know where to focus their efforts. And we'll let you know that it's very important that you learn to work within that sensitivity, knowing that it is your guide to let you know what imbalance in this place needs correction. So is it uncomfortable to be sensitive in a place that, is very much the opposite of that? Yes, it is, but also understand that you have the skills and the experience to use that sensitivity to your advantage, and you might not know where to send your light otherwise, so keep that in mind. So you guys should also know that it's very important to be aware that there are, there's an audience that is watching you. There are those who are behind the scenes taking notes. Is this soul empowered and ready to, work the puzzle more directly? Or is this soul still, working within the third density and trying to figure themselves out? One of the issues that we deal with on the planet right now is that there are very few old souls, but there are a massive number of new souls. And they're very easy to spot. They have no idea of, what's worked in the past and what hasn't. And you see a lot of old souls, whether they're awake or they're not, trying to warn and inform and help the new souls understand exactly what they've gotten themselves into and what to expect while you're down here. But with that being said, you also have to understand that the game has changed and that the Creator is offering the old souls and the new souls more allowances, more experience, more ability to prepare directly. And that's not something that we've been able to do very much to this point. So right now, the Creator has implemented a system where new souls, before they come into the earth, can observe the old souls for a certain period of time from behind the scenes before, they actually take that step at the window of birth and enter into this place. So are they on the other side learning, preparing, and anticipating coming here? Yes, they are, but in these new energies, there are new allowances being made, and the rules of this experience are changing very significantly, and there's more of a collaborative effort between the ones that are in the suits having the experience and the ones that are anticipating coming in. So the way that you go about things in your life, the way you train, the way you prepare, the way you deal with adversity, the way that you maintain a healthy balance physically, emotionally, energetically, all of those things are being observed very closely so that when the soul does enter this place, they kind of have an innate knowingness or awareness on what they should do, how they should act, and how they should behave, and how they should respect the process and everything that they observe around them. So they won't be born into a world full of hatred and a universe full of nothingness. They will be born into a world full of love, purpose, direction, and a cosmos that is full, alive, and buzzing with life. So very important to know that you may be helping others prepare by taking care of your business in your now moment here in the third dimension. Okay. Something else that empaths have to deal with, and this is a really important part of our experience to manage, is that the ones that we spend our time with, the ones who we incarnate with in the family dynamics, or the ones who we get put into survival situations with, sometimes they're not empaths like us. Sometimes they have a very critical view of the world, and sometimes they are looking for those who are suffering so that they can relate to them. So what do I mean by that? You may have a wife or a girlfriend or a best friend who only wants to talk about the dramatic things that are happening in life. They want to talk to you about this bad thing that happened to this person. They want to talk to you about this wrong thing that this person did to somebody else, and you can't believe it. So, it's so wild. But you and I both know that engaging in those kinds of thinking and engaging in those kinds of energies will only embed us further in the illusion, and will close up our upper chakras and our, the upper parts of our system. So then after, an entire day of being with this person, we're all locked up and we are completely in resonance in the lower chakras, and we just need to go to sleep. So I was asking the Akashic Records how to deal with this, how to manage it, and I got a perspective that I wasn't expecting but was extremely valuable. And not all of us are in a situation where we're going to separate or put some distance between ourselves and the negative one who's kind of, chattering in our ear with lower frequencies all day. And this comes back around to embracing your sensitivity and working within it, and putting your years and your lifetimes of experience being an empath to work for you. And the message that the Akashic Records gave to me about the situation is that maybe this person is showing you where you need to send your light, and maybe you need to have an awareness as an empath that you can absorb and that you can observe from a certain perspective without necessarily taking on what that person had experienced as your own. So this was kind of different, and a lot of times we as empaths, we want to run from that person, we want to get away from that person, we don't want to engage with that person at all. But understanding that they may be observing things in the reality that you might have never witnessed otherwise, or that you might not have crossed paths with the knowing of otherwise. So I found that kind of interesting, and I put that into practice pretty immediately, like I always do. And I felt like, I was lucky to have a person bring something to my attention that I could then hold space for and, send from the heart space corrective resources to. And I know myself personally, I would never be in a position to observe such things. But the nature of your light work is that you must observe the darkness, bring it to light, and then, a shift can be had. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, you guys. I will see you very soon. Goodbye.